What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. This is our live mastermind call that we're going to do every Monday. We have a new guest, Ashley, Hustle at Home Mom. Thanks for joining us. And why don't you introduce yourself to give everybody an idea of who you are? And you're famous on Instagram, but that's.
Oh gosh, no, not famous. But yeah, so I'm just a stay-at-home mom of two little boys, ages 3 and 4. And I started reselling last year, a little over a year ago, mostly on Amazon. I've just recently in January started doing eBay. I do find eBay a little more time consuming, but I am excited to really hone my process because I know that there's a lot of profit potential with eBay that I missed out on with Amazon. So I imagine that using those two together generally, so just to give a background, I average about $8,000 to $10,000 a month in sales just with eBay and Amazon together. And I'm excited to see how I can grow and mostly how I can be more efficient. Like, because my situation is really unique because I have to do the part-time equivalent of what you guys do, because I have those little kids. I wish if I could be full-time, I would, and I'd go crazy, like all day, no sleep. But unfortunately, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, I have a family that I'm trying to maintain as well. So I think just if I'm extremely organized and efficient with my time, I can make my goals happen. My ultimate goal is to pay off my house just by selling online, which I think could be really cool. And if I can do it, I could have a blueprint for other moms who want to do that as well and feel like they can contribute and make it happen as a family. So those are my goals.
Awesome, awesome. And Ashley has her YouTube channel as well, which I'll link in the description as everybody else as well. So I'm going to hop straight into the goals. We're going to go alphabetical. I'm going to share my screen. And this is going to be a really intense goal for you guys. But let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So guys, if you're in the document right now, if you click here to find out stats button, which is in the top, go ahead and click that and open that up. It should open up a summary of your eBay store and give us an idea of how much you have listed and how many items you have sold. We're going to go over right now the current state of you guys' eBay stores to give us an idea of what's actually going on. So Prince, if you don't mind starting, how many items do you have listed right now? Does it say you have? Let me unmute you.
I'm more traditional. I use the old version of this. So
Yep.
where would it say listed items on here?
If you click does it tell you how many items you have active?
Yeah, it does. 130.
130. Okay.
But that's because I started a new eBay account. I'm transferring all my clothing and accessories, stuff like that, onto that account. So I'm kind of separated electronics from clothing. So.
Okay. And then your does it say how much those are listed for on that page?
I'm not sure where I'm looking for that.
So right in the spreadsheet right here, does that open up this page? Are you looking at the same thing as me?
No, it opened the seller up for me.
Okay, so maybe this is a different screen, but I'll have to find out from you later. We need to know.
Okay, I got it now.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
So
what do you want to know?
How much is the total amount listed?
19,000.
19,000.
Yep.
Okay. So average sale price is. Do you have any multi-quantity listings?
Yes, a lot of them. Those are actually the ones that are my bread and butter. Those are most of them. So.
Okay, no worries. So because obviously I did Kevin's with him earlier, and his average selling price is not $318, but he has a lot of multi-quantity. So it's nice because he has only 118 items listed, but 37,000 in inventory on. So Prince, what is your profit goal for the end of 2018? Doesn't have to be exact, but do you have an idea of where you want to be by the end of the year?
The total?
Your profit goal, like starting January 2018, how much money do you want to make?
A little bit over 6 figures.
A little bit over 6 figures. So
so the way I'm going right now about it, if I keep sourcing the way I'm sourcing, everything's going as a left hand.
Okay.
I should be doing around roughly 105K in profit.
Okay. So you mean 6 figures a month?
No, a year.
Okay, that's what I thought. So What is your sell-through rate? How many of your items sell? I know it's really high per month. Is it most of them?
Yeah, it's most of them. So, you know, right now I probably because it really depends. Like on normal days, maybe like 15 sales a day, but on those days where like eBay's pushing their listings and everything,
Hmm.
sometimes I get like 30, 40 sales a day. So
Wow.
yeah,
So is it safe to say 90% of your stuff sells?
95% of my stuff sells. Like I don't buy things that really don't sell. The things that I buy are really like things that people need and need to use.
Okay.
So
And then your profit, did you say you make 36 for every 100?
36 for every 100. What do you mean by that?
What's your net profit at the end of on
Uh,
average?
Around 50 to 60.
50 to 60 on 180?
Yeah, 180.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put 28%.
Okay.
So for you to make $10,000 according to this basic model, you need $21,000 worth of stuff listed. Does that sound right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this just gives is sort of a roadmap for how to get to this specific goal. You could probably set a more aggressive goal than 10 because you're almost there already.
Right.
So this is
Right.
just giving us an idea and on just sort of how to navigate. So for this week, do you have a specific amount of profit that you want to list or items?
No, so you know how we talked about last time? I'm trying to get
Mhm.
that PayPal working capital.
Right.
So I've actually had to put all my quantity from all my items that are over 250 to zero because I don't want any of those sales to go through right now. So I can get all the holds off my account so I can get the PayPal working capital. So my sales have been a little bit lower this week, which is kind of mentally like hurting me a little bit. But so right now this whole week has been kind of off. But after that,
Okay.
I think I'm back on track.
And how close are you to getting all those holds removed? How many are? I know you have
There's
that.
only one left, and that should
Only
be gone in
one.
like 2 or 3 days. So
Okay.
really gonna get that.
Very, very cool. So is there anything specific that you want to work on this week?
So I've been, trying. I don't know if you saw my post on Instagram earlier. I went to this wholesale clothing place. I was trying different like products and stuff like that. I want to see if wholesale is like a thing I could go into. So I'm trying that out.
All right. I'm going to put that as your goal for this week is to start looking at wholesale clothing.
Yep.
All right. So that's the task for this week. That's cool. So I'm going to put since you're in an interesting situation right now with your holds, we're not going to set a goal for listing.
Okay.
But once that's gone, we'll reset that again. Um,
Okay. Sweet.
and then we can adjust this for whatever metrics that we want, but hopefully this will give us an idea of where to go. So Sam, do you want to share one of your stores?
Yeah, sure.
Click on
I
the link.
actually have one of them open right now.
Okay. So how many listings is it?
So it's say 364.
364. And
Yes. That's the one I do like all closing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the amount listed?
Uh,
So did you click on this link also?
yeah, it's showing me like it shows active and like fixed price and that kind of stuff. It doesn't say anything else.
Does it say the number before fixed price, like this number right here?
Yeah, it does say that. Yeah.
Do you want to share that or no?
Yes, it's saying 9,696.
Okay. So we're looking at a $26 average sale price on this account. Does that sound right?
Like daily base.
No, just per item. Because if you have 364 items listed, this is mostly clothing, you said?
Yes, yeah. They're pretty much used clothes, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And is this the one that you want to grow or what account? You have multiple stores.
Yeah. So this is like all I do, like garage sale stuff, like the clothes I find.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually want to grow all of them.
Sure.
But I mean, we can take this one as
an example.
Yeah.
Okay. So on this store, what's your profit goal?
Profit. I want to make at least 200 a year on this account.
200,000.
Yeah.
So that's the same goal I set for Kevin. I'd probably safe to do that goal for Prince also. But and then what is your cost like on this $26 average sale price?
Like
It's got to be
most
cheap.
of the items I buy probably 2 to 7, I should say.
7.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put 50% margin because this is in the garage sale, estate sale, or Craigslist pickup. You're really killing it generally. And then how much of this stuff sells a month? Do you think?
One third.
1/3.
Like, yeah.
Okay. So
And
go ahead.
and I haven't been listing on this account actually for a while because I was trying to focus more on the big items that, that I make like average price around 70, all that. So now, I need to hire someone to sort for this account. So yeah, but I'm going to start listing more on this account as well. Yeah.
Sounds good. So just based on this model right here, you're going to have $101,000 worth of stuff listed
Hmm.
in order to hit this goal of 16,000 net. You need to have, and you're only at 10,000 stuff listed on this account. So you would need to grow it by 10x to get to that profit goal on this specific account. So long way to
So
go.
yeah, like I think I can increase instead of, buying the stuff for 5 and 7, I can bump it up to, buying it for 10 to 15 and including couple of stuff that's actually, brand new and stuff like that.
Sure.
So it can increase my
See,
number.
that's one way of doing it is sourcing stuff that's more expensive, like prints, right? Getting
Yeah.
stuff that's more, or you could sell more of cheaper items like I'm doing. There's different depending on where you are. You might actually be doing both.
Yeah.
But so do you have a listing goal for this particular account or for your store? Your
I have listing goal for all of them. One
okay.
second.
And let me know if there are features that you guys want in this document, because I think it'll be a good way for us to keep track of what's going on.
Notepad. I could say I want to list at least, like top of my head, at least 200 items a day. I mean a week.
Okay.
200 items a week.
And then what is your how much profit are you making per item?
Profit, I should say around 10 to 15.
I'm gonna put 15. So 15. So I'll just do 3,000. So if you list 200 items at $15 profit, you're looking at adding $3,000 to your bottom line every week if you just maintain that 200 item goal. So, all right, Ashley, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What do you think?
Moving. Okay, so my goals can't be as aggressive as you guys.
Sure.
But I would like to get so right now I have $4,694 in fixed price listings, and then
Okay.
130 in auctions that will sell.
Okay.
And so I only have 137 active listings, and I would love to get that up to 500 as like a first goal.
Okay.
And I would also like to get my average sale price to $50 or more. Currently it's at around $25, and that's fine because I was starting out with just garage sales and thrift stores and very cheap items that I could flip quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to, if I can, because that's one thing I've been thinking about is because I have so little time, would it be better just to focus on only list something that'll sell for $50 or more, and discipline myself to get there? Or am I missing out on money if I do that? So I guess that's my dilemma. Even if I have to buy it new though, because that's something that I don't have a problem with. If I have to buy it, and that's the thing with Amazon too, like with the online sourcing that I'm doing, I'm okay with getting 30% net after everything, even if I have to spend a little more. So with eBay, should I also think about those margins too? And just, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts, but yeah, a base goal for me would be 500 listings, $50 average sale price or more.
What number of your items sell each month? Do you know what percentage?
I would say around 30%, 33%, like a third.
Okay.
And I would love to get that to be more, but I just don't get a ton of views. Unless there's certain items, I don't know. Certain items get a lot of views and action, and then others just kind of don't until I relist it or put it to auction. So yeah, I would love a faster sell-through rate, but right now I don't really. I sell 1 or 2 items a day generally.
And then what profit on, so right now you're having like a $25. What do you think your cost is on those, since it's mostly garage sales? Probably pretty cheap.
Mostly garage sales. I would say average of $5 to $10. but the $10 items would be a little more. So I probably profit after everything $15, I would guess, $10 to $15
Okay.
on
So
those.
if we do
Yeah.
1250, then that's half margin.
Uh-huh.
So based on that, let me look at this. You said you wanted 500 items listed.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give an idea of that, if you had 500 items listed for $50, then you'd be netting $4,000 on your eBay business each month. I'm just going to change it to the 1K a week, because that's right at, you need $26,000 worth of stuff listed. So
Yeah.
at the same time, like if you're outsourcing and garage selling or et cetera, you need to have like $9,000 into it,
Yeah.
listed for 26 eventually.
Right.
That,
Right.
and that would be a fantastic part-time income if you
Yeah.
could get there. And that would
Definitely.
be maintaining, that's, what is that? 500, you'd be selling 130, like around 4 to 5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So do you think that that's doable as a parent? That's a lot.
I do
Okay.
because I have changed my shipping to 2 days, and that has really helped me. That means every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get up and I prep my shipping,
Hmm.
and then I have my kids go to our neighbor 3 times a week for a few hours, just in the mornings, so that I can get things done. And I've told myself I have about 20 hours a week I can work, so I'm trying to stay within those parameters, because I do want to be realistic and not. I want to be a present and active mom in my boys' lives. And that's, as much as this business could take over, which it has at times, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look back and have regrets. And because that's just I don't think, does anyone else have kids? Am I the
You're
only one who's
you're the only
unique
one
enough?
with kids, but I do think that that's a good idea, because that means if you were hyper efficient, you'd be spending 5 to 10 hours a week on eBay, and then
Yes.
you do have Amazon as well. 5 to 10
Right.
hours with Amazon is different. You could potentially do some more damage.
That's true. And that's where with Amazon, even, like, I don't know if I can talk about Amazon here, if
Yeah,
that's
sure.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm considering having a fulfillment center handle all of my online arbitrage shipments. I know that it'll cut into my margins a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it will mean way less work for me, and it'll mean I can really increase my inventory quickly, especially before Q4 hits. So I'll just have to adjust my minimum prices, and make sure that I'm getting enough profit with that fee. They generally charge $1.50 per item that they process and ship for you. And there are some fulfillment centers in tax-free states that you can ship to and then save money there. So that's something that I'm actually really considering with Amazon, because I do need to be more efficient. I want to get my eBay store up to 500 items that are $50 or more, like we talked about. That'll be a great income for helping pay off my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I can get Amazon really going with that fulfillment center, I feel like my life will be a little less crazy. Because as much as I want to do the quick $15 flips, that's time that I don't have. I need to make sure each item I'm packaging, each thing I'm doing is going to make me good money, because I don't have the time to focus on the smaller margin items. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
So do you think you could list 35 items a week? That's 5 a
Yes,
day.
absolutely. And this is where I want to brainstorm with you, because you guys are the eBay experts. I'm still pretty new to eBay. So I found that on Saturdays after a garage sale run, I can photograph 35 items in an hour. Like, I can really quickly go through all of them. And because I'm doing them, I put my measurements right in the pictures. That takes a chunk out of me having to detail it in the descriptions. Although I don't know if I should still be doing that. And then each morning, what I've been doing is in bed when I wake up, I quickly list 5 items, and I just have that open my store each day. And then each morning so instead of just listing 35 items in one go, I do like 5 items a day throughout the week. Is that better than just a bunch at once? I don't know.
So
You can tell
that's a
me.
good question. Let's go in order. and see
Yeah.
if you guys batch or how you guys do it. For me, I personally batch all in a row. I only list, like
Okay.
I don't separate the different times. I just either list or I don't list. But what about you,
Okay.
Prince? How are you?
So the way I've been doing it is, since I have more time, I don't have kids. My parents, I'm back living at my parents' house. I've just moved out of my apartment, that's why it's like hectic back here. But I have more time on my hands. So the way I've been always doing it is just like whenever I have time, like in between the working out or work going out, blah blah. But now I'm actually trying to structure it more to like a certain time where I list one thing at once. So I'm trying to spend like an hour or two, maybe like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and try to list all at once because I feel like when you're doing it all at once, you're also saving more time because you're efficient, you're faster when you're doing it over and over and over again. So I'm trying to work on that. I think it's better for just batching it all at once.
What about you, Sam?
So most of the time I like to list closing, that kind of stuff after everything around from 12 until 3 p.m. I mean a.m. like around late night.
Right.
Yeah. So that's it. Like nobody's bothering me or anything. So that's a
Mm,
good time for me to do. And what I do is first I just do a draft and like
mhm.
so I don't have to get up, take pictures, go back. I just take one picture and do draft, put it on the side, go to the next one, just keep doing the same thing. At the end, I just go over all of them and take pictures. So yeah,
That's a good process. So you do separate a little bit.
yes.
And how about you, Kevin?
So it's tough. I try to source and list everything basically all at one time.
Right.
So like today I listed for 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. So that was rough. But yeah, I got it done. I had to. So
So,
had a lot of stuff to
so
get off.
actually, Kevin is working full time. So he tries to do all eBay on just one day.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, I try to get everything done on one day. I try to strategize it. I also, I have other stuff going on besides just the eBay store, but yeah, I try to mainly do everything on that one day.
Do you
Okay.
think that you guys would benefit from taking the photos and listing completely separated and having the photos identified? Because I do a draft on the computer and I put the item location in the title, and then when I
Mhm.
take the pictures, this is the final picture. So for me, matching it's really fast now that I'm batching
Gotcha.
completely separating. Um, but it is draft, photographs, insert photos. That's the process. It's starting to get. I'm now at around 16 items an hour, which
That's
is
awesome.
as efficient as I want to get. Like more than that, and I'm too robotic.
Yeah, if you're going too quick too, I feel like that's prone to making mistakes. A lot of times I pick up so much in bulk. Like when I do source on that one day, if I buy 300 or 400 shoes, I'm hoping that each shoe is sized correctly by the person at the register. And I'm hoping that like shoes are in the right box and everything. So if I am listing quickly, I try to actually slow myself down. I want to make sure that I'm doing my part. I hate when I make mistakes. I know you can void shipping labels and stuff like that, but you can't get that time back, especially if you list something and say it's a size. Like I had some the other day, it was a size 7. It turned out it was actually a size 7.5 in a 7 box. By me looking at it, usually I can tell, but I had no idea until the person got it, and then they were upset, obviously. So yeah, I try to slow things down as much as possible. You're really good at time management, though. I never was good at time management. I try to just bang everything out and do the best I can with what I got.
Actually, are you ungated in Nike?
I'm ungated in Jordans and some Nikes. Yeah, but not.
Wow,
But I
that's huge.
haven't. I haven't really sourced for them because I've been so focused on doing online stuff. Because that's just my problem. Is just
That's
I
right.
can't
A lot of
take my
online
kids
arbitrage.
along. I mean, I can. I can on. I don't know. If I were to pick one day a week, I could probably hit up a Marshalls one day a week and make that like my chunk of time, or when my kids are at our neighbor's house. Um, but yeah, but one thing that's unique to me maybe is when I find that when I take pictures all in one day and then like list throughout the week, I can, while the kids are at the park, I can be listing some stuff, or when I'm waiting, like I can kind of at my leisure on my phone. I don't know. This is not probably the most efficient way, but I can like throughout the week find chunks of time when I can be listening, or we'll be cuddling and watching a movie, and then I can list some stuff. But maybe it would just be more efficient to just knock it all out in one go.
I think it's fine to do it that way, especially because some
Yeah.
people have a commute that they do it on, or it just depends on um, your time that you have. The list is on, and are you just listing straight from your phone and taking pictures with your phone?
I do. I
Okay.
was using a DSLR and I was using my laptop. It just took too long. It was way too long and time consuming. And frankly, I did not notice an increase in sales at all with the nice pictures. I just, for some reason, even like the pictures I took crappy on the phone, not like crappy, but like with whatever light I had, they sold anyway. So I'm just like, the time, I don't know. Maybe like I see people take beautiful pictures and I envy that, but for me, like time wise, it's just easier to just slap it down on a flat lay, get it photographed in a couple minutes, and then call it good.
One more idea on that for sourcing. I know you do a lot of online arbitrage, which I think is
Yeah.
great for time. There is
Right.
a Nike seller here that has 7 sourcers.
Oh
And
wow.
he doesn't actually do it, but he's ungated in certain parts of Nike as well. And he doesn't leave his house. So I think he
That's
also has a
awesome.
full-time job, and there are 7 people that text him deals, and then he pays a bounty, a percentage of profit, and then also per item. And so he's like never needs the source again, and has an army, looking for stuff for him. So that is possible, because from what I've seen tons of people scale massive Amazon businesses while working a full-time job because they don't need that income. Kevin's in that situation where he can just keep rolling the money in and in. He's got it living off of his normal income. So that is very interesting. Maybe potentially this year, one of your major goals can be finding a sourcer.
Definitely. That's definitely a goal I have, to hire help locally. I do have a virtual assistant. That's the only employee I have right now. Employees have been a struggle for me just because it's one more thing to manage, and I already have my home, my husband, groceries, dinner, laundry, and then an employee, so that was a little tricky, but yeah, I do. Down the road, I would love to have that for sure. That'd be awesome to have especially book sourcers if I could. Book and Nike sourcers would be awesome for sure.
Prince, is there any reason why you don't sell GoPros on Amazon?
I'm gated. So, I've tried to, I've given them documents of invoices, blah, blah, but it's just not enough. I think you need to be like a distributor by GoPro to get ungated for GoPro on there. But, I'm still going to keep trying to push that, because if that happens, that's a big deal, being able to sell the GoPros on Amazon, that'll sell pretty fast. So, yeah, that's actually one of the good goals I should put down for myself, because I haven't been pushing for that, but I really should.
There might also be an opportunity for you to partner with somebody who's ungated. In that, I don't know how that would work. It sounds complicated, but I think that some people do share or trade different gated, ungated stuff.
Right, that would make sense. Like, I could go on Amazon and see who's selling it, message them, and be like, we got some kind of potential relationship. That's a good idea.
And then also, you might be able to double up on relationships. If you don't have the capital to take advantage of them, they probably do. So that's another potential hack for that. But I think your niche knowledge in that is pretty interesting. Also, have you contacted GoPro directly?
No, I have not.
Okay, so I know there's a reseller in my group that gets 5% of GoPro returns directly from them. So okay. I don't know what magical thing he did to get that, what dinner date, who he took to dinner to get that deal, but that's amazing, right? So he's getting them directly from the mothership. So I think that's possible too, if they trust you, because there's another dude that does he sells only 3 items, Vitamix, Ninja, and Blendtec. Okay. And all 3 of them, he has a relationship with the manufacturer directly. So that's like 3 items, 25,000 each or something.
That's crazy. So, yeah, I've started to learn that, even on eBay and Amazon, it's kind of like your own thing you can do from home. But networking is everything. If you make one connection here, one connection there, that can be your whole business. I'm trying to learn that more. I'm really trying to push for relationships now, because it's a big deal. You're right.
That's an interesting thing. Kevin, this year, do you have any longer term goals like that? Like potentially a different type of relationship?
I mean, I've thought about trying to get ungated in Amazon. That's always the goal, but I have no idea. Long-term goals, consistency, and just keep growing it. I've actually started to do a ton of stuff through Instagram, just posting stuff recently. So sales were kind of slow. I put up a picture of some of the stuff I got in, and it found its way to the proper people. So that's cool. Just stay steady at it and just keep uploading things. The same process, rinse and repeat over and over and over, and I'll just learn it on the way.
So I wanted to challenge you and ask a question also. Have you thought about hiring a sourcer? Because for shoes, because you're limited to just the one day of sourcing, you have a way lower margin than a lot of shoe sellers, but they have, they spend 50, 60, 70 hours hunting. So if
So
you
that's the thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't really hunt. So my
Right.
relationships are so good at the stores with the employees. I will tell them. So as soon as a shoe goes clearance, and that's under a certain amount of
Right.
units. Yep. So as soon as it goes clearance, I usually get a text message, or I already have lists of current inventory in local stores, and I try to filter through that and make sure that the employees I have are on top of it. So I will make sure that they pull the inventory to the back until the day I'm available to get there. So that's why a lot of the times, like, people are like, why do I tell people so much on how I do this? It's kind of because, like, nobody can really take away what I'm doing anyway. Even if you knew exactly what I knew, unless you had the relationship that I've built, you're not going to be able to do the same thing. So, like, for example, there was a shoe that went, I think it was 70% off this week. I haven't even gone in to get it, but it went down in price days ago, and I know that they're still there. And I didn't even ask them to do that. Employees text me and say, "Hey, I've already pulled it. I got a whole bin for you." So I just keep the relationships good.
So that's solid. I am going to challenge you, though, to come up with some other relationship building exercise. So maybe in a different area, you try to get the same relationship with Nike or something,
Sure.
because I do feel like that's a monopoly too. Just because that guy has a relationship with 5% of GoPros, it doesn't mean I can just call them and ask for 5% of the
Of
return
course.
GoPros, right? So that's
Right.
the magic sourcing thing. I think we all need to work on those, because that's something. I do think, Kevin, you'd really, really benefit from having 20 hype beast shoes in your store, because people would come because of the hype shoes and then not be able to afford an $800 pair of Yeezys, and
And they fall back on that $40.
they would just buy a normal pair of Nikes. That doesn't work, because when I was in the game, we had the managers would force us to buy the clearance, and it's sold because of the traffic that we had from the expensive stuff. So
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I thought of that as soon as you found those Apple shoes, and you had people that wanted to buy it, but it was worth more to you to have the traffic to your store page. I didn't always have a store page. So I mean, a lot of this is fresh. Like, I've only been doing this for, less at this pace, at this amount, for less than a year. So I mean, it's tough learning everything. I mean, somebody said earlier, we're the eBay experts. We are definitely, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I am definitely no eBay expert. I literally think about it all the time. Every time I'm processing something, I'm like, does somebody else know a better way? Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, I was listing this for 9 hours. Like, is somebody else going to tell me that this should take 4 minutes or something? But yeah, I mean, the stuff I've learned is me looking it up, or just me, I try to do it, just start getting in there and just, get it done. I don't try to think about it too much, just do it.
And I also want to share with you guys, so the average CPM on YouTube is $1 per thousand. So that's how much advertisers are paying people to advertise. But in our niche, which is e-commerce, it's $10 per thousand. So we're looking at 10 times the revenue, because what happens is, if you have 10 hypebeast shoes in your store, even if they don't sell, and you connect it to your YouTube or your Instagram, and you start getting the people to filter through there, my Apple shoes have already made me $200 in ad revenue off of that eBay listing. So people are looking at it on eBay and then going to my YouTube channel and checking it out. And so like, I don't even know if it's worth it for me to sell them at this point. Cause like I'm trying to price them as the highest sneaker on eBay. So when people search high to low on sneakers, I always pop up on top. Amazingly, at 50,000, it still wasn't the top. But anyway, the ways of monetizing that are huge. And even just the eBay cookie, you guys should all be an eBay partner network, because last month I also had $4,000 in sales off of people clicking my store link and then buying something different within 24 hours. And I get half the eBay fees. So I made $200 up to $400 in eBay fees on those 4,000. That's actually passive income.
I've never heard of that in my life.
So Amazon affiliates and eBay partner network, you should sign up for it today, because it does work, especially since all of our Instagram followings are growing and people are wondering what we're doing. And I'm just so excited. I literally have 10 sources of income right now. And it's blowing my mind how this stuff is all coming together. But Prince, are there rare GoPros that you could have one of or something that would get?
No, that's the thing. Like, you just gave Kevin a great idea about the whole hype beast thing. Like, what can I do to be like a hype thing? I took a picture. My first picture I put on Instagram was with like 100 GoPros in the background, and like that was kind of cool. It got people intrigued a little bit, right? That's kind of cool. But what can I do to make it like a one-of-one or like something just really interesting? Maybe like a modded GoPro, like a really heavily customized one or something. I don't know.
Maybe a rhinestone covered one. I mean, stuff that would get people
Diamonds. I don't know. A 10K karat gold GoPro.
If you bedazzled one, even if it was fake, and you listed it for $1 million.
Yeah, put it up like Jake Paul's personal GoPro. Like,
because people love quantity. You guys know, if you post a picture of 40 packages, it's more viral than just one.
Yeah,
and people want to see piles of stuff. So that definitely all works. Sam, you have a couple different eBay stores. Have you ever thought about using a signpost like that?
I actually have a couple of products that sell like within a couple of seconds, and I can price that higher to drive traffic. Like, for example, like CPUs, servers, they sell pretty fast, and I don't think people have access to those items. So that's, I believe, one of the advantages that I have.
So I'm going to give you an idea, Sam. I think this will work. So I have 10% returns on electronics on eBay. It's really frustrating. So
yeah, I have
12%. So
yeah.
people have been sending me like, use these black light markers and these return stickers so people can't scam you, right? And I put those links on my thing, and people are buying that stuff because they don't want to get returns. So if you were to make a video on how to prevent returns on electronics, I can't make that video because I'm not qualified, but you are, because you've sold a ton of stuff. People are going to go to that and they're going to buy those stickers because it makes sense. Like everyone has over 5% returns on electronics, and it's extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
So Prince, are you in that bucket?
Mine's 6.5% right now. I just checked it.
Yeah. That is interesting. Actually, do you have a lot of returns on Amazon? Is that a concern?
Me?
Oh, me? Sorry,
Yeah.
you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Amazon, the highest return rate is actually clothing. And it's really annoying because they do such easy returns. And even now, what they're coming out with is Amazon Closet, I think. And you can, I don't know if you guys saw the article. It's like so a customer can buy without paying as many clothes as they want. And then they just pay for the ones they keep and don't send back. And then they get like a 20% discount if they buy 5 or more or something. Which just, so frankly, like I'm actually probably going to get out of clothing with Amazon just because it does refresh. They will, the thing is, like when Amazon gets a return, they'll look at it, they'll put it right back in your inventory if it looks good, and then it'll sell again. But it's just so frustrating. So like I'm probably going to move out of clothing with Amazon. The rest, like electronics, like books have a less than 1% return rate, which is why I love them so much. But yeah, electronics probably 5%. I've not noticed a huge return with my electronics on Amazon. And yeah, so not so bad. Clothing is the worst. And then eBay, my return rate's like 3%, but I'm only doing clothing and shoes on eBay right now. But I may need to tweak that if I'm gonna have 500 listings, $50 or more, because there's only so many. Although I guess I could just go to Nordstrom, get more new with tags clothing. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, returns suck.
Cool. So we all have specific listing goals this week. I'm just going to share it again real quick. So I'm listing $3,500 worth of profit. Prince, you're going to fix the hold this week. So are you just completely taking a break?
No, I'm still selling items that are below 250, and
Okay.
all items that are above 250, I'm put on zero
You're
quantity.
just pausing. Okay. So yeah, we'll get back onto a weekly listing goal. And then actually, I don't know if you can do 35 items this week. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I can do that.
Okay. And so we're going to try to focus on like a listing muscle, for lack of a better term. So if you can get into the habit of doing 35 a week, and then maybe that's the max capacity for you, unless you hire, let's say, a photographer. Then somebody comes in, does all the photos, and then all you're doing is just listing on your phone when you're hanging out with your kids, because that's definitely a thing. There's a
Yeah,
lady in my group
definitely.
that does, she does 150 listings a week with 5 kids. So,
Wow.
but no photography. So somebody does all the photography and it's labeled, and then all she does is on her phone. There's a Dropbox. Actually, I don't know how the photos are synced onto her phone. I don't know that part. Somehow the photos are on her phone so she can list from her phone.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
is
just
that, is she like, I've been considering too, like if someone takes pictures and then could a virtual assistant somehow do the listing? Like if the pictures are done, could that be outsourced? Like
um,
the
y-
listing part.
yeah. So I'm actually building that right now. That was my counter.
Okay.
Sorry, it's crazy. But I'm going to do it so that you can basically, so actually I'll test it with you. I'm hiring a virtual assistant right now to take the photos in the Dropbox and build listings in a draft on InkFrog. And so for
Awesome.
you, all you would have to do is just adjust the pricing and list. Actually, that service is available for all you guys to test. I'm in the process of filtering VAs right now. So potentially we just take photos, they show up in the VA's Dropbox, they list on the InkFrog that we have hooked up, and they don't have any access other than drafting.
That's awesome. I think that's
Um,
perfect. That would be perfect for my situation. And it would help me escalate the number of listings I do each week a
well,
lot more.
then if you had a photographer, then you're only sourcing.
Yes, which is the dream. That's the dream for sure. Because then I'm maximizing my time and my skills, and not slowly working through the photography and when I'm working around my kids. That would be ideal. Definitely.
I have a question for Kevin. Kevin, are you maxed out on the number of items you could buy?
What do you mean?
Like, you're buying 300-400 pairs each time? Could you buy 1,000 pairs, or are you getting everything that's profitable?
I wouldn't say it's a tricky question because it's all relative on like what time I'm going there. So a lot of times there's back-to-back sales where sales within a week of another sale. So I'm kind of spread out on capital. And then there's times where I know that something else is coming that I want to save. I want to put more eggs into that basket. So no, I could buy more. I usually buy everything that I can, and I get around 300 pairs. So I feel pretty happy with that. A lot of the worst problem I have is actually transportation. There's a lot of people that comment about that picture I put up of the U-Haul truck. That's actually a realistic thing now. Like when I go out, I really have to take like that U-Haul truck to maximize on what I want to get. Because without it, I can't. I mean, you see, I drive a Mazda 3. It's very small. I'm not fitting 300 pairs of shoes in there. And a lot of times I have a buddy, he'll drive with me. So we have 2 cars. I took a SUV a couple of times. That fills up at about 210 shoes almost. If you
Wow, that's amazing that you know that.
you got to unbag everything and actually put them in and stack them. So it's hard work, and like it's summer right now. So you're out there hustling bags in and out of a mall location, which is you're getting your Fitbit steps up, you know what I mean? And then you got to unbag all this stuff for like an hour outside in the heat. So yeah, it's a hustle. It's definitely work.
There's a guy, the local guy here that does 1,100 pairs a day on the friends and family and whatever things he's doing, and it's literally 3 full vans. So I don't know
Yeah.
how they even arrange that, but that's
Shout out to that guy who has
um,
probably a day off or no kids or no job. 'Cause
and
he's killing it.
Prince is talking about. Do you feel like once you get that working capital loan, you'll be able to get all that supply, or you feel like it's still sort of limitless? That's a really hot product.
Yeah, no, so my supplier is actually waiting for me to tell him when I'm gonna buy all his inventory, and
Mhm.
this is like a really big bottleneck for me right now.
Yeah,
Trying to fulfill it. Yeah.
fair enough. And Sam, I don't know. So you seem to be the king of sourcing. Is there like a max limit for you on how much stuff you could buy, or it's endless?
No, I literally right now have over 50,000 items I could list potentially. So it's all about finding the right people to list and having, a system where you can have, multiple people listing. So right now, actually for this week, we're not listing anything for electronics under $50.
Mm.
So because we're trying to increase our average price up, so we literally have stuff come in that actually worth over $100, $200, and they sell pretty well. So that's one of the goals that I have for this week. And actually, what you can do, like to source Nike and Under Armour, Adidas stuff at Marshall, ask the employees what time they bring out stuff, so you don't have to go there when they don't have any items. So I used to do that, like ask them what time they bring inventories out, so you can just go there as soon as they bring it out. You can just take it, the really good stuff. So yeah.
That is interesting. Do they list directly in your eBay account, or do you use a third party, Sam?
Yes. No. They they use a phone still, and they list it straight. I used to do InkFrog, but like when they search for the item, sometimes they have hard time finding the right item. So I just let them list on the actual, eBay page. Yeah.
And they do it in the facility though, that you're in your warehouse.
Yes, it's like yeah, all the resource they need, like all the inventory is already in there on one side, and like I have a station set up where they test this stuff, take pictures and list them on, and we have a separate place where they ship the stuff out. So yeah, everything is in the building, and we have probably trucks coming in and out, probably 5 to 7, a week, like with loaded stuff, a lot of stuff. So I just have to figure out a system.
Is your biggest bottleneck just the listing process?
Yes, finding the right people. Yeah, that's
What about space or inventory management? No,
we have 3 warehouses, so
you have the
the
space.
space is not a problem. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all have different problems, guys.
Yeah, and
eBay
plus
is
time,
very
plus
unique.
time.
Well, yeah, we all have the time constraint.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So throughout the week, I'm going to check in with you guys, or I mean, we have the group text if you guys want to check in and see if you have any issues or underlying issues. But I think all of us right now are just in listing mode, right? It's just getting the stuff up. And then Prince, we're working on that hold.
Yeah.
Is that based on just the dollar amount?
Yeah, so it was over 250. It was for 399.99. So the algorithms just hold.
They don't like those higher end items.
And
That's
the customer support cannot help whatsoever. I've been transferred to department to department to department. They just can't help. And the thing is, this is supposedly what's going to be able to allow me to get capital, but it may not be. I might not have any holds, and I still might get declined. So we'll find out in 2 or 3 days, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
When did you start this account?
This PayPal account. I started doing. No, I made the account a long time ago, like 8 years ago. But I started doing over 20K in sales, for taxes or whatever, like late last year. So
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while, Just this year, it's been 7 months.
It's been a while in internet years, but that's not even 1 year, bro.
But supposedly after 6 months, you should be clear,
Yeah, I think so. I think you're just you're just an anomaly because your sales are pounding.
Yeah, it's not what's going on. Maybe the return rates are affecting it. I don't know.
One thing. So one of the problems you might be having is how much money do you withdraw out of your PayPal account? So that is like if you don't keep some of the money for the returns and stuff like that, they might put a flag on it because that actually happened to one of my account. So you don't want to take all the money out because they don't know if when item sells, if you're taking money out, all of it out,
Right.
they don't have anything they can, yeah.
That may be a reason because, like I told you before, like when I first started, I had very little capital, so the cash flow was back and forth, back and forth. I transfer all the money I get in my PayPal back to my account, pay the bills, PayPal, back to bills. So one time, like sometimes I'd get a return and the account go to negative. So maybe that's causing a little bit something. That happened a couple times already, so maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for the call. Real quick, you guys should just say where people can find you, and then we'll call it a night. We'll start with Prince. How can people find you?
So I made a new Instagram account. It's at Prince P Biz.
Woo!
And so people out there who are following on my regular Instagram account, you can follow me there now. And yeah.
Cool. Ashley, how can people find you?
Instagram, Hustle at Home Mom. There's about 15,000 people somehow, some way following, which blows my mind. And then also YouTube. I just started that up at Hustle at Home Mom there.
Awesome. Sam, how can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, OSS_Empire, and I just passed 20K like 2 minutes ago. So yeah. And the YouTube channel, OSS Empire, no underscore. So, yeah.
Nice. I'm going to link all that stuff in this before I put it live. So, and Kevin, finally, how can people find you?
Of course, Instagram at the Clutch Swag, and that's pretty much it, man.
Is your last thing before we go? Is your store hooked up to the partner network on your Instagram?
What do you mean?
At the very least, you need to hook up your store with the partner network. That way, if people click on the link on your Instagram and buy something, you get half the eBay fees. Literally, if they were to click on that link and buy something from your store, you're gonna get half your fees back.
He's like,
Chris, where is this information coming from? We have to sit down. This is like, come on, man.
So your homework is to sign up for the eBay partner network this week. There's no excuse.
Jeez.
You have to do that.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the recording now. Thanks, guys.
All right.